And so in the last class, we were able to look at the definition and the sources of regulation. So this very class now, we are going to be looking at the importance of having regulations, the importance of regulations as it were. So the importance now, this is the acronyms I use for the importance of a regulatory framework. I use this acronym CONT. Please, if you can know this, I will be very, very happy. CONT, that's what I use. So this CONT tells me easily if they ask me any questions as regards, your question can be coined this way. They can say, what do you think we need regulations of the preparers of a financial statement? Another question can say, like I've seen in your past question, there is an individual in your office that does not understand why you think your accountant should be regulated in the way they prepare and present financial statement. Kindly explain to this non-accountant the importance, or why do you think that a regulation is needed for accounting as a profession? So when they ask you this kind of question, the answer is in this acronym, CONT. CONT. And so when we say CONT, let me use another marker that is clearer. So it is called CONT. CURONT. Please let me write it the other way so it will be more clearer. CONT. CURONT. CONT. Now the importance is number one. This C stands for comparability. Comparability. Now, if the profession is not regulated, it implies that accountants in Ghana can prepare their accounts the way they like. The one in Nigeria will prepare their account the way it's suitable. The one in UK will prepare their account the way it is suitable. You understand now? But by regulations, it means that we become binding under one common law. For instance, an entity in Nigeria now of the same that are operating within the same industry, it is easier for the user to compare it is easier for the users to compare their financial report because what they are now well regulated. The legal institutional framework gives the legal backing, the accounting standards, which are set of principles and assumptions and the concept that the accountant should abide with. They also give a guideline. So it becomes binding on the whole accountant, for instance, in the whole of the country. So if you prepare, I'm in Abuja, if I prepare my financial report and I'm into manufacturing of, let's say, liquid soap, another person that is a manufacturer of liquid soap in Lagos prepares some financial statement. As an investor, I can compare the two financial statements together. Why? Because I know that regulations are taking care of my fear. That is number one. So, for comparability purposes, regulations gives accountants what we call gives the accountants the credence. Or how will I put it now that you will understand? It gives the accountant that the morale for them to prepare what is adequate for users of those financial reports. Then the next one is and that is understandability, for understandability of the users. You know, regulations now makes it easier for the users of the financial report to understand what is in the financial report. For instance, if users now don't understand certain things, they don't need to call whoever that prepared it. They look at what the guidelines said. Maybe, for instance, the IFRSs. Now they can look at it and then they will understand how or why certain figures or certain items are treated in certain ways. You understand now? So that is another one for that. Then the next one is for reliability. Reliability. So the regulation of the financial statements give credence to the information that is available on the financial report, and then it gives the users of those financial reports confidence because they rely heavily on the information that is provided, that the adequate guidelines has been followed. Adequate guidelines has been followed. So the next one is neutrality. This neutrality talks about the wording off of biasness. There's no, it didn't give preference to one body. Regulation did not give preference to one body or one sector. Rather, it is binding on all. It is binding on all. Everybody subscribe fully to the regulations. And so, with that, it ward off every kind of biasness. And then the last one is transparency. Transparency. This transparency is simply talking about the fact that you know, window dressing are tendencies of negative vices in the preparation of financial statement has been carefully taken care of by regulations. Regulations are rules what you must abide by. So if you flout any of the rules, you are punished. And that is what this regulation have been able to achieve in terms of guiding the operation activity of an accountant. You can be asking your exam, like I said earlier, why accounting as a profession needs regulation. Just understand these cons, remember it in your exam, write it down for them, explain it, then you are good to go. However, if I could bring this video to an end, understand that to pass your exam, strategies is what is required. Strategists, they are the ones that pass this exam very well. And then, why am I bringing this up? I saw in one of your past questions, in fact, a lot of them, they will tell you to list or mention and explain, please. When you see something like this in your exam, don't make the mistake of okay, when they say mention, you just write comparability and then you explain. Don't do that. When they say mention and explain, please, the way I've listed it like this, list it out. Then you now pick it one after the other and begin to explain. Now, if for instance this question carries 10 marks, if you have already in this, for you mentioning and listing it, you already have what we call half mark, half. Then your explanation might carry, it depends on what the markers, what is set as the threshold, and then your explanation will carry the next 1.5 mark. If you explain it, it means that the half mark that is here, you have jeopardized it. That is the strategy that is involved. I just thought it's better. Let's bring it up as we begin to prepare for subsequent modules of this CR and FR class. This is one of the courses that you must pass for you to qualify as a chartered accountant. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you again for listening.